Hey everybody, it's Small G Gay. In honor of the release of the film King of Bane, when Mitt Romney came to town, the image for tonight's vlog is a gold-plated rhino. I hope you all enjoy it as much as I enjoyed finding it. I saw King of Bane. Very interesting film. Not at all like it was represented, by the way, by the mainstream media hacks. The Clear Channel hack kingdom of Bane. Not at all like that at all. In fact, I think they got all of that from the little preview, because there's that line in the preview about how capitalism in the wrong hands can be bad, and it's this greedy Wall Street types, and they have like the guy like smoking the cigar. That's the only time in the entire movie that they even refer to Wall Street types. The entire movie is an indictment of Mitt Romney. It's not an indictment of capitalism at all. It's about what a rotten person he is. It's about how all he cares about is money and power. There's no reason for Romney to run for public office unless it benefits him financially. That's the picture that you get from this guy. I mean, you compare it with someone like Sarah Palin. You know, Sarah Palin got involved in her PTA. She became mayor of her town. Palin serves with what she calls a servant's heart. And she served her community in government to represent her family and friends and the people she knew. That is a wonderful reason for getting into politics. Ronald Reagan got into politics to save the United States because he loved this country. And I'm not seeing any of that from Mitt Romney. All I can see is what's good for him. And that's kind of the personality that emerges from this movie. The guy is I mean, forget about the whole issue of capitalism. It's about what kind of person he is. And he's very, very unscrupulous and has no moral qualms whatsoever with screwing around with people's lives. And that's not just capitalism. And it's not about whether or not, I mean, it's cronyism, it's corporatism, it's what's wrong with this country. That's not the issue. The issue is he's that low. I mean, there is a Christian component missing. I would add that there's a Christian component missing from a lot of the people on the right now. Because that Christian component is what says, I'm going to serve my town, like a servant's heart, like Sarah Palin would say, you know. Totally different view of the world. And it's loaded with stuff. It's loaded with really uncomfortable questions. You know, they don't have a full understanding of his money. He's worth, I think, $250 million. They're not sure. There's no evidence that he proved that he created 100,000 jobs. You know, I thought it was smart too. One of the other great things about King of Bane is that it's obviously aimed for those kind of Hillary Clinton voters, those disenfranchised white working class voters that Rush Limbaugh in saner days said should be targeted if we want to beat Obama. It definitely appeals to that demographic. The people that are interviewed, most of them seem like pretty straightforward people. Most of them seem like they're Republican. There's one guy who's like a Vietnam vet interviewed in front of an American flag. So I think that the people in South Carolina and the Rust Belt are going to respond strongly to this film. And it's free. I've posted the links up on Twitter and Facebook. So you can see it there. It's less than a half hour long, and you'll be able to really understand what this whole issue is about. And when you see it, you're going to say, what were they talking about? What were they talking about? So yeah, so we found out quite a bit from Rush Limbaugh, hello Rush Limbaugh. We never learned anything from Rush Limbaugh. From Rush Limbaugh's admission. I'm kind of wondering if he was trying to send us a signal that he couldn't do anything about it when he went nuclear on Newt yesterday. Bain Capital, Bain Capital owns Clear Channel, and then Clear Channel distributes all of the big conservative talk radio shows. Not all of them, but about 6 of them that are big, well-known shows. Michael Savage, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck, etc. And so those people are only going to go so far criticizing Mitt Romney because of that conflict of interest. They should basically recuse themselves, like Elena Kagan should, from the Obamacare, case, because they're biased. They're compromised by that connection. And it's leading to a situation where you really can't trust most pundits, I mean, Michelle Malkin went all establishment, shilling for Romney, attacking Gingrich as some kind of Marxist. I love that whole, dynamic. They're trying to make it look like Gingrich is a Marxist and that Romney is the spirit of capitalism. They really think you're morons. They really think you're morons. But it's they who are morons! They've all been going at it. Breitbart, I've had to turn Breitbart off every night for the past 2 weeks at some point. I can't listen to a full show. But there was a point a couple of days ago when they had all of the editors and they were all kind of forced to say, it was so uncomfortable. It was like when you're having job trouble. It's like they were all, except for Stephen Bannon, who has been excellent throughout all of this. They got everybody else, and they all had to say that basically that Mitt was wonderful and embodied capitalism, and that Newt Gingrich was a leftist using the arguments of the left, again without having seen the film. So despite all of that, what did we get yesterday? If you listen to the show, you'll know. We got Todd Palin's endorsement of Newt Gingrich. And that was awesome. Tonight we had an even better surprise. I'm going to go into that later because a lot of you have been telling me that you don't feel like you can trust the radio programs or the television shows that you usually listen to. I would remind you that these shows are about entertainment, that there is a profit motive, and that there are other concerns that they all have. And what I would say is go ahead and listen to them, but always remember, never forget what they've done. You know now where they're coming from. They're coming from Romney. They're coming from the establishment. And a lot of them tried to co-opt Tea Party and claim Tea Party credibility, but they were just basically either trying to get viewers, trying to sell books, trying to adapt to the changing times, because I'm not seeing a whole lot of integrity on that front. They're pretty much exposed. And frankly, I think some of them are going to have the future of like Oprah, because I think they've really, really angered people to the point where we're just not going to watch them. That's the bottom line. I've talked to a couple of people who are saying that we need a Tea Party channel, we need more Tea Party radio, we need a Tea Party television network. I think that's terrific, and I think that new people will rise. I think you're going to be seeing new people coming up, and you'll have new shows. In the meantime, there's Tea Party Nation is coming out for Newt, which is awesome. In the meantime, I would suggest, listen to your blog talk shows, listen to your favorites, but remember what they're saying and laugh at them. So they're often amusing and everything. But they're not friends of Tea Party. They are not friends of Tea Party. We know that completely. A site that I've gone back to is Conservatives for Palin. I had been kind of over the Palin thing when she didn't run, and then they were all trying to do the earthquake and everything, and I was like, okay, let it go. But I think those people are really great, and they're really true conservatives, and they're really awesome, and I really suggest if you go there, they've got clips, they've got stuff, sign up, create an account there, and start talking to everybody. That's an option. There are blogs, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of radio shows. I need to do some research into some other radio shows besides mine that are worth while in that they're not bought and paid for. Speaking of not paid for or bought is Sarah Palin, who tonight on Q was just amazing. Last night, she said they cut it out. Fox cut it out. Last night, she said on the program she was on that Bain was fair game. Tonight, she elaborated and said that not only was Bain fair game, but these are the kind of questions that Mitt Romney's going to have to answer sooner or later, and it's just as well for his sake that they're answered now rather than in the fall. She said that she denied that the film was anti-capitalist, which it isn't. Oh, Mitt Romney is, and so are most of his supporters. They're more the liberal establishment type. Um, and then she called for, it was amazing. She called for Mitt Romney to release his tax records. You know, these finances of his are really wildly out of control, and you've got to wonder. That's the whole thing about this movie. Where there's smoke, there's fire. How many dealings has he been doing under the table? You know, who exactly is this character? We need to have those tax records released. It was really, really a terrific, and that he has to answer all these questions. He has to answer all these questions that everyone's asking, and these new questions that are going to be brought up in the film King of Bane. I'm out of time already. It's amazing. Kyle Raccio endorsed Newt Gingrich today. You can add him to the good guys. And I'm very excited to see a lot of Paleonistas reinvigorated. I know I feel that way. And I look forward to seeing you all on Twitter. Go Newt, go Sarah, and keep it up. Go Tea Party. We are not going away. We are not going away. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.